Okay, we're going to look at For Elise today by Beethoven, probably one of his most famous works. I'll play it through first and then we'll have a look. Okay, there was the odd mistake in that, but nothing serious. Let's have a look at the first phrase that everybody tries to learn and often goes wrong with. There are numerous ways that you can do this fingers-wise, but let's just look at the notes first. We have E, D sharp, E, D sharp. So then back to E, B, D, C, A. I like to think of this phrase in two sets of 4 notes, 5 notes if you include the last one. The first 4 or 5 notes will be this. If you think of that as 4 or 5, that would be thinking it as 4. 5 would be. And then the next phrase is, and my preferred way of playing this is a 4-3 finger. Thumb, then a 4 back on D natural, 3 on C and 1 on A. So your 4th finger that starts comes down to D, so your hand closes in. Now this phrase comes a bit later when you have to play an octave E down the bottom here. And there's no, unless you can span from the thumb to the 4th finger with the octave, which is, I mean, it's doable. I've got very small hands and I can do that. Otherwise you have to learn to do 5, 4, 5, 4 instead of the 4, 3 that we started just a minute ago. But you really want to get really comfortable with that phrase, whichever way you play it. Like I said, there's numerous ways of playing it. My preferred is 4-3. So that's the first phrase that you really want to get under your belt and practice it with your eyes shut, slowly, really fast. Really slowly. Until it's well in your fingers. Okay, the next phrase for the right hand is this phrase. Which is in the end of the second bar, the second full bar. Which is C, E, A, B. And notice how I'm playing it. I'm playing it 1, 2, 4, 5. Again, this this is a phrase that you really want to get off with your eyes shut. Once you've got that phrase done, the next phrase is E, G sharp, B, C. E, G sharp, B and C. And this phrase again is the same fingering I'm using, 1, 2, 4, 5. And that constitutes really the whole bit of the first section, because what happens then is we get this E octave, like I said, and it goes back to the beginning of that phrase. This phrase now doesn't do this, but it ends by going E, C, B, A. And it's a choice really of how you finger that. We should add that maybe if you can stretch to the third, that might be a good one to use, because later on in the second time bar we go, and for that we need a 2 on the B here. So if we've got a thumb on the A from, that will help us go on. It will help us do that. So that last phrase could be that fingering, or it could be that and swap. So the left hand from the beginning has a pattern to it, and the pattern is the tonic, the fifth and the octave tonic. And what I mean by that is it's an A, an E and an A. Why this is called the fifth, it's because it's 5 notes away from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're playing this though not in close position, where we'd normally play the A with the little finger and the E with the thumb, but we're actually putting the second finger on the E so that we can reach to the octave A. And the phrase goes A, E, A, A, E, A. Now I held them down there, they're actually quavers, but there's a note that says put the pedal down, so it should really go like this. Listen to all those sounds ringing on, and you only change it when you change the pedal at this bar. So the pedal is an integral piece of this, integral part of this piece. If you didn't play with pedal, it would sound like this. Almost like a computer, which doesn't really sound very good. So the pedal is something that you'll introduce after you've learnt the notes. So the left hand, A, E, A, then the hand has to move down because it's going to play E, octave E, and then come across for G sharp. Now you can either play the G sharp with a second finger or third, whichever feels more comfortable. It might be as well to try and use the third finger, because if we were playing a bigger arpeggio, which is a very pianistic kind of thing, you would want a third finger coming across. If you did a second finger, you'd run out of fingers to do the octave E. So maybe the third finger will be a good one to use there. And that's it for the left hand. It's only got these 2 patterns. it's really amazing how Beethoven makes so much out of just those simple lines. It really has stood the test of time, this piece. Okay, so that phrase then repeats by the first time bar, and the second time bar we get the new theme, which goes which is starting on B with the second finger, all the way to the finger, all the way to the little finger and D, B, B, C, D, E, then jump down to a G, and then do a seventh, so not the octave G, but to the F, G, F, E, D, and this pattern's going to carry on, so we go G, F, E, D, F, E, D, C, E, D, C, B. So it's always jumping a seventh and then just descending. And you can see that it drops down the thumb by G, F and D. So it's good to actually learn that first. Now in between those long notes, there, 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 there. In between those long notes, those sustained notes, we have the left hand plays an accompaniment part. And it's exactly the same as the first time through, only instead of A and E, A, now we move the hand up to C, and we get C, G, C. It's the same kind of pattern though. The next pattern is very similar to the E, G sharp, where we go G, octave G, and then come over for the third, which is a B. So those two go now to A, and then to a final E. And this bit's quite tricky here, and you've got to learn it very slowly, because the left hand, once it gets to the E, let me play the left hand through. La da da da, ba da da da, ba da da da, ba ba da ba. So that's what happens. Their hands take over from one another. Let's go from the low E with the left hand. So we've got the pedal down, we have to go a little finger, number 5 on E, then fly up to the octave to play that, 5, 1, E octaves. So you might want to practice that first. What happens then is the right hand takes over an E octave. So we've had for me this piece reminds me so much of guitar, because this is the kind of figure that you get on an E, a kind of flamenco, and it's almost like the piano is copying what you would do on a guitar. So we've got this right hand E to E here. Then the left hand copies that, while the right hand goes up to the next octave. And then we've had all the E's. So, slowly we've had... And you want to really practice that. And it wants to be quite dramatic as well. So when you've gone from you make that quite dramatic, then it starts to close back in on itself after that expansiveness, and it starts by trying to start the tune again. It's almost like the car won't start, and he's trying to find where the notes are. So he knows that the D sharp and the E come into it somehow, and it's swapped between the two hands. So you go. Do that 3 times like that. Left hand, right hand, left hand. And then the right hand then takes over and plays it correctly. Only this time we have a D sharp just before the ba da 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 ba da da dum. So it becomes la da 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 dum. And then it's a repeat of everything we've had, really. Let me just take it from the second time bar. So this is bar 9. Okay, so just near the end there, the final chord, we have a C and an A in the right hand, and an A and an E in the left hand. Let me just play that again from. And it sounds really good if you just slow down the tempo near the end. Okay, so good luck with that one.